What's up, everyone? Welcome to this Friday's jam session. If you're watching this on the replay, then you just watched that, or you just heard me say that. If you're coming in live, well, you're not going to hear what I just said. So today, we do have another jam session. It is Friday. I believe it's Friday. Hope it's Friday. It is July 31st. And we are going to be doing another live Q&A call, our jam session here. But what we're going to be doing today to kick it off is we're going to talk a little bit about traffic. We're going to talk a little bit about how do we get traffic? How do we get eyeballs on our lead magnet or the thing that we want to get attention? And we're going to talk about like what's a good one and what isn't such a good one to kind of use as a piece that can attract the right people. Because the one thing I want you all to understand is that we don't want everyone. We want the right people, right? And so I talk a lot about attracting the right people and repelling the wrong people, right? Like, and that's what we want to do here. A lot of people just want to go out there and just cast a really wide net and go, you know what? I want everyone out there. And then your email list is big, but it's not really good. And we want to really just go out there and put out content, but also put out our lead magnet in this sense to where we're going to be attracting the right people. It's really, really important that we understand that. Once we have our, and I'm referring back to what we've already discussed up to this point, the last couple of weeks, is getting our lead magnet correct, right? The thing that's going to be the magnet that's going to attract the right people, right? If I'm putting something out there, 10 tips to catch more bass, and you're not into bass fishing, it's not going to be for you, right? And you're not going to sign up for it. You're not going to pay attention to it. You're probably not even going to see it, right? But if you did see it, you'd walk right by. Right. And actually right now, as we're doing this live call here, I'm actually in the process of building out a full training called Email Marketing Accelerator inside of Brand Creators Academy. And Chris Schaefer and myself are building this out. And in week one, right now, we're just finishing up week one. We actually got a live call tomorrow. But it's all about the lead magnet before we ever get into traffic. Right. So today, what I want to do, though, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. And I'm going to really share with you how do we get traffic, the right traffic, to our lead magnet or to our offer or whatever you want to drive traffic to. What do we do to speed up that process? What does it look like? So that's what we're going to be talking about. So this is going to be a recorded podcast episode as well for the jam session. I do want you to ask any of your questions that you have. I want you to drop them in the comments. If this is about driving traffic to build your email list, drop them in the comments. If it's something else random, drop that in there as well. I'll answer them at the end of this jam session. But I am going to be kicking this thing off with the question that I get asked quite often is, Scott, what is the best way to drive traffic to build my email list? What's the best way, right? There's a whole bunch of different things that we can do. But we need to pick the right one, right? That, or not even necessarily, we need to know which ones we should start with. And the easiest way is going to be paid, to be honest with you. Like, we are going to be able to get the right people through organic search, through, our blog content, our website, maybe YouTube, maybe Pinterest, any of that stuff. That's all good. But we do need to talk about paid. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. So guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I need your questions in order to do these jam sessions. So if you have any questions, something that's been on your mind, something you're stuck with, if it's list building, if it's any of that stuff, drop it in the comments, and then we'll get going here. But I'm going to kick it off, like I said, with that theme of what is the best way to drive traffic to build my email list. That is going to be what it is. So let me just give a quick few hellos here. We've got Karen in the house. What's up, Karen? Good morning. Really nice morning. It's beautiful here too. Sun is shining. Charles, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. What's up from Georgia? Salama, good morning. D, good morning to you as well. Is it Vivek? Vivek? I'm not sure if I pronounced that name right. I apologize. Salomon, nice shirt. Yes, it's brand new. There's a little story behind this shirt. I had this shirt created probably around 2 months ago. We ordered it and it just came yesterday. Crazy. So that was not good. But I almost forgot about it. And then I got it. I was like, oh, wow, I remember that now. And actually on the back, check out the back real quick. Of course, we got to put that on there, right? What's up, Jennifer? Happy Friday to you as well. Always good to see your face. Yes, Michael, what's up? How are you? What's up, Debbie? Yeah, Debbie, also wanted to let you know I did get back to you, and we're going to schedule that. I think we said Tuesday, so I will send you over my calendar on that. What's up? Happy Friday. Stayed up late last night working on my lead magnet. Awesome, Tamara. Tamara is part of our Brand Creators Academy, so she's going through that course right now. That's awesome. That is end of week 1. We need to have a lead magnet, right? We need to have that done. Love the tea. Thank you, D. Appreciate that. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing I want to say here before we officially kick off our Friday jam session, because you guys know that are here every Friday, you guys know how it works, right? This will turn into a podcast episode probably 2 or 3 weeks from now. So that's kind of how I'm also doing my content, is I'm able to record this as a podcast episode, and then my editor can go in and take this portion and then put it up on the podcast. See how we're doing this? We got to repurpose sometimes. That's what we got to do. But there's a lot of people that are listening to the podcast that don't come to the coffee talks. A lot more, right? So it's like, this is great because I can do this in a small atmosphere where I can answer some questions. We can have some back and forth. And then from there, we can get your questions answered. And then a lot of people that are listening probably have similar questions. So that's why we want to do that. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to do a little jam session. But again, I need those questions. If you have any, as I'm going through this, you know, put them in the comments down below. And then I'm going to officially kick this off. And Charles has reminded me to take a sip of that coffee. And today, guys, it is super full. I don't know if you can see that down in there. Woo, that baby is full. Just fresh, bulletproof. All right. So we're going to get going here. And then we're going to open it up for some Q&A. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Time out. Before I do, there's something going on right now. I forgot. I got to tell you guys this. Okay. So yesterday was my birthday. I turned, how old did I turn? 48. 48. And any of you that reached out and said happy birthday and stuff, I appreciate that. Thank you. But I also decided to do something. Let's see. It was Monday night. I was sitting on the couch watching the Yankee game, and it occurred to me. I was like, you know what? It's my birthday coming up, and I could probably do something cool for people inside of or that are in my audience, right? That they could benefit from. So I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of people that have messaged me since we closed enrollment to Brand Creators Academy. Maybe what I'll do is I'll open it up for maybe a short period of time, and I'll throw in a couple of bonuses. Maybe we'll do a little celebration. So that's what I did. And I opened it up. What was it? Yesterday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time, sent out an email, sent out another email this morning about it. And I'll send a few more this afternoon. But yeah, so right now, if you're not part of Brand Creators Academy, some of you on here are, but if you're not, you have until tonight, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. We do not open Brand Creators Academy, but maybe 3-4 times a year. We're talking about doing some like private invites and stuff, but nothing public. So if you're interested in joining us in the Academy, I'm going to throw this up here real quick. brandcreators.com/join. It is officially open right now for enrollment. We opened it up for just 36 hours. It will expire tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So if you are interested in joining us, this is like random. Like I just thought of this like Monday night. I'm like, you know, I should probably do something for my birthday. Why not? And so that's what I ended up doing. We're also right now currently building a full email marketing training course. It's called Email Marketing Accelerator. It's going to be a 3, maybe a 4-week training. We're doing a live call tomorrow. And that's part of Brand Creators Academy. Everyone that's in there gets these trainings that we create like this. We did one on Pinterest Traffic Workshop, which is a 2-week training. We have another one coming up we're going to do for digital products. So all of that stuff happens inside the academy, but also we're going to then, we are going to offer these to the public for a much higher price, because obviously we want to take care of all of our members that are inside of the academy. That's where we want people to be, right? Inside the academy. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. Okay. brandcreators.com/join. If you are thinking about joining, now would be the time. And I would say do it before tonight, because after tonight we will be closing. And again, we won't be opening for at least a couple of months. So that's that. All right. So, all right. Forgot about that. All right, here we go. So Friday Jams, ask your questions. I'm going to go ahead and kick this thing off officially. So here we go. All right. You guys know how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and get my notes up here, and then we're going to kick it off. If you guys have any questions for the Friday Jam session, drop them in the comments down below. All right. So again, like I said, we're going to talk about how to drive targeted traffic to build your email list. All right. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, welcome back to another Friday Jam session here. And I am super excited because I'm joined with some pretty awesome people here on the Coffee Talk. And this is where I open it up for some good old-fashioned Q&A. And I get to answer questions live. But if you're listening to this on the podcast, well, you're listening to one of the big questions. And today that we're going to address is how to drive targeted traffic to build my email list. Now, if you've noticed, we've been talking a lot about building our email list over the past few weeks. And the reason is because, well, it's what we are doing internally in our own brands, but it's also something that a lot of people have been asking about. They want to know more about not just building the list, but really about how to market, how to use the email list to really connect with people, but also get people to buy more stuff. And there is a formula to it, and there is a process. But the very first part is building the list. So we've been talking about building the list and building a good lead magnet, something that's going to attract the right people, repel the wrong people, and do all of that stuff. So today, one of the questions that I've been asked is, Scott, well, okay, how do I drive traffic to build my email list? What is the best way of driving traffic to build my email list? And there's a lot of different ways, right? There is a ton of different ways that we can do it. But what we're going to do is we're going to really focus on one way today. And I'm going to share that with you guys. But I did want to remind you, if you want to be part of our coffee talks, all you need to do is head on over to takeactioncrew.com. Again, that's takeactioncrew.com. That'll take you over to our Facebook page. And then from there, you'll be able to be notified when we go live. Okay. And again, if you're listening to this on the podcast, we'd love to have you, but I get it, right? Not everyone can make it at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I almost forgot what time it was. 10 a.m. Eastern time is when we do these. But these are like one of the highlights for me because I get to actually answer questions live. And today we're going to be answering one of those questions to kick it off. I always like to go with a theme to the coffee talks and to the jam sessions. And this here is how to drive targeted traffic to build my email list. All right. So let's get cracking, shall we? All right. So here's the deal though. Before we even get into driving traffic, we need a lead magnet, right? So I'm assuming that you have a lead magnet. Now, if you're brand new and you're listening to the podcast for the first time, I'll give you a really quick, less than 30-second explanation as far as like what it is. Okay. A lead magnet is something that we put out there that we can drive traffic to, right? Now, yes, we need a lead magnet, and then we also need a landing page, but they kind of go together, right? Because we need the lead magnet before we can build the landing page to have something to put on it, right? But the lead magnet is something that is going to be something like this. 10 tips to catch more bass in a pond, right? That would be your lead magnet. All that has to be is a short little PDF document, or maybe it's an infographic, something like that. Something that I would be like, you know what? I want to know that, right? And if I'm a fisherman, right, a bass fisherman, and I see that, I'm probably going to want to download it and see for myself, because there might be a tip in there that I'm not doing right now that's going to help me catch more bass, right? So that's one example. The other way you can do it is, and I've used this example before as well, is let's say that you were going after people that were concerned about good gut health, right? Well, that would be something like 5 foods to avoid for better gut health. I want to know what that is, right? So the very first thing we need is that lead magnet, right? We're calling out to the people that are interested in better gut health, right? If you don't know what gut health is, you don't care what gut health is, it's not going to resonate with you. You're going to ignore it, right? So we need that first, okay? So I'm assuming that you have that, or let's assume that you do have that, okay? So now we have that, okay? The next piece is the landing page. And again, I did a landing page review in Wednesday's coffee talk. So again, if you're listening to this on the podcast, another reason why you want to probably hang out at one of those coffee talks is because we do stuff like that. I did a landing page review, and we talked about those good or the elements that are good and the ones that we could, probably do a better job with. And one of the things is like to have less on the page. Less is more in this case, right? One goal is to basically get people to arrive at the page and then have them enter their name and email address to get the thing, right? The checklist, the guide, the download, whatever, right? So let's say now we have that built, okay? Now we're ready to go, okay? And that's why also in our, right now we're currently building a course inside of Brand Creators Academy called Email Marketing Accelerator. The first part of this is building the list. Well, the first part in building the list is the lead magnet landing page, okay? Now the next part is driving traffic, right? We got to drive traffic to the landing page, which has the lead magnet, right? So the very first thing that we are going to do is we're going to go to Facebook, because I don't know any market really that doesn't have an audience of some kind on Facebook. Okay. Now, maybe there is some outliers there, maybe, right? But any market that I've ever gone into or that I've ever even seen people trying to go into, you're always going to be able to find some people on Facebook, right? Or Instagram. Now, Facebook, Instagram, same platform in a sense, because you can still, Facebook, owns them. So it's basically like you can run the ad on Instagram, Facebook, both, or just one or the other. So we're just going to say Facebook, and you can say Instagram too if you want to. I'm going to look at just Facebook. All right. So now what I need to do is I need to identify, okay, to get started in this is my targeting. I need to know where these people are hanging out. So a good thing that you can do right now, any of you can do this, by the way, is just go to Facebook. They have a search function, by the way. It's right at the very top of it's like a search bar, right? And you can just type in there whatever your topic is, right? So bass fishing, type that in, and then it's going to show you a whole list of things or a whole bar across the top of things. It'll say posts. So anything that has bass fishing in posts, it'll show that. It'll have pages. It'll have groups, right? It has all of that stuff there. So literally it's a search function inside of Facebook to show you where that market is hanging out in content or discussions that have been happening with that keyword, right? So bass fishing would be one. Or if I wanted to go even a little bit deeper, I'd go kayak bass fishing, right? And then that would show me groups and pages and all that stuff. So what I'm looking for here is really pages, because those pages will give me also intel. It'll show me a little bit about the market, but I could potentially target those pages, okay, inside of my Facebook ads. So I don't know about you, but I would love to get in front of a whole audience that's interested in bass fishing with a lead magnet, right? I mean, who wouldn't? Right? It's kind of like if I am doing this bass fishing thing, right? And I was just to put it out to people that are interested in riding the Peloton bike, right? It wouldn't make sense. But you'd be like, I bet you there's some people in there that are bass fishing, and you're probably right. But would I want to put an ad there in front of those people? No. I'd want to go where I know that that page of people are all interested in bass fishing. Okay. So that's one way of doing it. Now, what happens here is we're also going to be able to start to learn a little bit more about what they're interested in. So there's going to be like maybe Bass Fishing Magazine. Maybe there's a TV show that's popular for bass fishing, right? So all of these things are targeting points. So what I'm trying to do now is get as precise as I can, but to a big enough audience inside of that interest, okay? And so what we're going to do now is we're going to find some interests. We're going to start putting them into our Facebook ads targeting area, okay? And then from there, we're going to start to spend a little bit of money. And it's going to be very little, like $5 a day, right? And then what that's going to do, it's going to do two things. Number one, it's going to get us traffic almost instantly, As soon as that ad is approved, we're going to be showing up. Okay. Now we can test that lead magnet really, really quickly, right? So now we can say, okay, after 100 people have been through, that have clicked through to see the landing page, how many people opted in? This is where we come up with our conversion rate. Okay. Now, typically we're looking for something out of the gate, something around 15 to 20% minimum. Okay. That means that it's at least resonating. We'd like higher. Okay. There's actually a lead magnet right now that we created as a test that we're doing inside of Brand Creators Academy, which we haven't even shared yet. And that thing is converting at like 39%. It's blowing my mind on how well that's converting. Typically, if we get 25 to 30%, we're happy. Okay. Now, what that means is if we're spending $5 a day, okay, how much are we spending per click? And then how much are we spending per email opt-in? So that'll come down to really figuring out those metrics. But again, we're not going to get into that right here. Okay. The bottom line is this. Once you have the lead magnet, once you have the landing page, now it's time to get some traffic. Now, if you don't want to spend money and you just want to do the free route, let's say that you have some website visitors. Let's say that you have 5,000 website visitors a month. The first thing that you need to do then is take that landing page and you need to put it on your website. I would put it on the sidebar. I'd put it in the header, right? I'd put it in one of your blog posts, wherever. Okay. Why not? If you have Pinterest right now and you're getting some traffic to some of your boards, start to create some pins that lead people over to the landing page, right? So those are other ways that you'll get traffic to it. But once you have the landing page, right, now it's a matter of just getting exposure. And the free way would be put it on your website, maybe use Pinterest, maybe use, if you have a Facebook page that's got a few thousand people on it, put it there too. Why not? But your quickest way, if you don't already have traffic on your website, the quickest way is to target the right people and show it to those people. And you can do it for very, very inexpensively. And one thing I want to say here, though, is you need to understand that the ad is not going to work out of the gate. And I mean, if it does, you got lucky. Okay. And that happens sometimes. But, and honestly, on this recent one that we did, we kind of got lucky. Because it worked pretty well out of the gate. Normally what happens is you turn it on and you start to get some data back. And then you're like, it's not really converting all that well on the landing page. So maybe what I'll do is I'll tweak it, right? I'll tweak the landing page. Or maybe even before we do that, we're going to tweak the interest. We're going to say, you know what? Maybe it's the wrong targeting, right? Maybe what we need to do now is we need to just fix the targeting. Maybe we'll try that first before we change anything. Because the problem is when people start to change too much, they don't know what is working and what isn't, right? So there's all these different pieces, but the traffic piece comes down to getting traffic as quick as you can to test the landing page, okay? To test the lead magnet. Is it resonating, right? And then from there, we decide what to do next. Now, one other thing that's incredibly valuable is when you start building your email list. Now what we can do is we can take that email list after we get maybe 400 or 500 people, and we can re-upload that into Facebook and create a custom audience that will also be a lookalike audience from that. So what Facebook will do is it'll take those 500 people and we'll say, hey, Facebook, find more people like them. And then it'll go out and it will find people that match the criteria of those 500 people. So really all we need in the beginning is a start. We need to get 400 or 500 emails. So then we can start to do some lookalike stuff. Again, a little bit more advanced. We're not going to go there right now, but getting the traffic isn't the hard part when you're talking about paid ads, if you do it right. But the main thing we need right now before we even do that is the landing page with a lead magnet. Okay. So that's how you get traffic. That to me is the way to drive targeted, really targeted traffic to build your email list pretty fast. Now, inside of Brand Creators Academy, we actually did a full case study where we built a list of over 9,000 emails in 30 days. All right. And we did it using a giveaway as our lead magnet. Okay. And inside of the Academy, we actually documented from day one, when we decided to do this as a case study, we did a brainstorming session where we were going through the lead magnet. What would a good lead magnet be, right? And then we had our Academy members actually on that call where they were helping us back and forth with ideas. Then we went from there. We built the lead magnet. We built the landing page. We turned on the Facebook ads. We started driving traffic. Then we started tweaking ads. And then we ran that for 30 days. And then in the meantime, we were emailing the list, letting them know a little bit more about how many days are left. And then also we got some content we were giving them. And so all of that stuff is documented from zero, like nothing, to 9,000 plus emails. Okay. Another thing that you get inside of Brand Creators Academy, and if you're listening to this on the podcast, if you're interested, I would definitely make sure that you get on our wait list. And the way that you would do that is you would head over to brandcreators.com/checklist. And if you do that, you're going to go to our checklist page, which will also allow you to be notified when we do open up Brand Creators Academy. But that's another thing that we offer. We thought about maybe offering that as a standalone because it's that good. There's like 16 video sessions in there of us documenting as we built it over 30 days. And that might be coming. I don't know. Keep an eye out for that. We may end up making that available as a standalone product because it's that good. All right. So again, I just want to say like this stuff, it's following a formula and it's also testing and tweaking along the way. So that's basically my recommendations as far as how to drive targeted traffic to build your email list. So what we're going to do next, we're going to open it up for some Q&A. I'm going to go ahead into the comments and we'll see if we got any questions here. All right. So let's see here. We got Salma. What pearls of wisdom about life would you like to share with us as you become another year wiser? Oh, because of my birthday. Yeah, well, if you guys are listening to this on the podcast, my birthday was July 30th. And yes, I turned 48 years old. Little bit of wisdom. I'll tell you what I've taken away. Man, and it's been a heck of a ride. It's been an amazing ride. But the big thing that I think I've learned and I continue to learn is that simplifying, whether it's your life, whether it's your funnel, whether it's your business, simplifying things is necessary. And to always focus on your why, and that will in turn bring you to where you want to be, right? I mean, there's a lot of lessons I've learned, but the one thing that I have learned that I think will continue throughout my life is not trying to compare myself to anyone else, doing what I feel is right for myself and my family, but also the people I serve. And if you're listening to this, whether it's on the podcast or you're here on this jam session, it's you. It's like, how do I better serve you, right? Not because it's the next shiny object or the next thing, right? It's what do I believe in, and what do I want to help people with? So I think just simplifying, right? And not comparing yourself to others, okay? Because everyone else is going to be a little bit different. And also what you see over there doesn't necessarily mean that's actually really what it is, right? If you look behind the scenes, I just last night watched a documentary where Jim Carrey, when he made the movie Man on the Moon. And it was crazy. Like, here's a guy that wrote a check for $10 million, put it in his father's casket because he said that he was going to do that one day. But the guy was so unhappy and still to this day is probably unhappy, right? But he thought that's what he wanted, right? So I just think that simplifying and not comparing yourself to others and just owning what you want and being cool with that, right? And yeah, I think that's a big one for me. Okay, so let's go on to another question here. D, my question is about Uber Suggest. So once I search for a keyword in SD is on the green. Okay, so basically like site domain authority. Is it safe to write the post and have it be the title? Do I need to find more keywords and write it on the blog post? I think we might be overcomplicating this, D. My question would be, how many blog posts do you currently have on your website? And from there, I would say, don't worry too much about the metrics yet, right? The big thing for you is to get some content created, okay? And if you guys are listening on the podcast. Really what D is talking about really is our content strategy about questions. And we answer questions in blog content, how-tos, and product reviews. And what she's doing is going through the exercise of finding the content that she wants to start to publish. Which, by the way, guys, brandcreatorsbook.com, that's our playbook. That's what everyone goes through in the academy. That is available right now. So brandcreatorsbook.com if you wanted to go through that. But I would say don't worry so much about that, D. But you know what, D? You are in the academy. So if you want, post it in the academy and let us see it in there. And you're going to get more feedback, not just from me, but from others. But the big thing I would say right now is don't get bogged down in those metrics, those numbers right now so much. The biggest thing is just start writing the content. But I would say look at the keyword that you're going after and then start to look at other people that have posted on that. Is it the exact search? But if you give me the example inside the academy, I could dig a little bit deeper. Salama, how much do you spend per day on Facebook ads? Depends. I'm going to pull a Chris Schaefer here. It definitely depends. But I would say when we're starting like this brand new little campaign we've been running for about 3 weeks now, we started at $5 a day for 3 different ads. So $15 a day. Since starting that, we have scaled that to where we are spending over $110 a day, right? Now what we've done is we've scaled back because now we're getting a whole bunch of leads, but now we got to figure out how to convert those leads. So the front end's working, the back end needs to be tweaked, right? So we got the lead magnet working, it's converting like crazy, but now we need, and actually we know kind of what that, what the issue is. It's really education. So the people that are opting in, that are getting the lead magnet, they're loving it, but they need help using it. So we just need to do a little bit of a better job there, and we're working on that. So that's part of this case study that we're doing as well, which we'll be sharing inside the academy. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, how long did it take you to come up with your lead magnet? Well, the lead magnet that we did inside the academy for that little giveaway took us less than an hour because we made sure that we were done in an hour. We're like, okay, we're giving ourselves an hour to come up with this thing. Inside of our email marketing accelerator training that we're creating actually right now, we're actually in week 1 right now. And the first part is lead magnets and landing pages. We basically came up with 2 lead magnets as examples that we actually built out and we're going to drive traffic to. I don't know if they're going to work. But it took us probably, I don't know, took us a couple hours because we had to decide out of our blog posts that we've already written, which one would make a good lead magnet. And that was it. And then we went ahead and we converted that into a nice looking PDF. We created a cover and we put it up on a landing page, and now we're ready to drive traffic, right? So it doesn't have to take that long, but you do have to think through it. Like what makes sense for, and also we actually did this inside of the course is we show how to look at your competitors and see what they're doing. Now, you're not always going to find Facebook ads that they're running, but when you can, that's very helpful, right? Because we can see what they've been spending money on. And if they've been spending money on it for a few months, it's probably working, right? So that's another way to do it. How long do you test it? Generally, we'll want to test it for a minimum of 7 to 10 days. And then if the traffic is there and we're getting traffic, then we can start to measure how it's converting. But usually too, we want at least 100 people to go through. We don't just want 5 people. That doesn't give us a good enough result. And honestly, I'd like probably 400 to 500 people to go through it. So that's that. Let's see here. Would you consider building a list organically, or is it much faster with Facebook? Way faster with Facebook, but cost you money, right? But I do believe that having an email list will allow you to really speed up the process, even for your content. So if you're creating blog content, a great thing to do then is email your list about your blog content, right? You get eyeballs on that content immediately, and Google likes that. It sends out these little triggers, these little signals to Google that people are engaging with your content. That can also help with ranking and stuff. But yeah, I would do both. Like put it up on your page too, on your website. Why not? But if you're getting like 100 visitors, a month, like how many emails can you expect to get, right? If you're going to use Facebook fan pages, like you're going to build up a Facebook fan page and then you're going to post it there, your reach is going to be so low, right? So it's going to take longer, a lot longer. I would even say just to get yourself kind of going quicker, I would say just do it, even if you only did it for 30 days. Just build up that list to 1,000 plus people, right? And then that way there you have a list to work from. Okay, let's see. Okay, D, this is about Facebook ads. You say start at $5. Wouldn't that take you longer to find your customers? Yes and no. In the beginning, we're starting with $5 because what we're doing is we're also letting Facebook learn. Okay, they have this learn feature built in. So they're actually learning that your ad goes in a learning phase. Okay, and that could last a day or two. Once it has enough data, then it kicks it over to where they've learned enough to where they're going to start to ramp it up. And then they also have a new thing built in that you can actually scale the ad automatically by 20% a day if it meets this number, right? If you're getting leads for under 50 cents, it'll say, okay, then we're going to up the budget by 20%. So it might go from $5 to $7 and $7 to $10 and then $10 to $15, and it'll slowly scale up. That's how we went from $5 a day to $110 a day, all automatically, by the way. And the leads kept coming in at the same rate. D, you're in the academy. Chris is going to be running through this actually this coming week. So in this next week's content for Email Marketing Accelerator, Chris is actually going to be building a campaign from scratch for this new lead magnet, which we don't know if it's going to work or not. And he's going to show exactly how to do this. So you're in the academy. You'll be getting that. Would you consider building a list with YouTube if it was what you were comfortable doing instead of writing blogs? Yes, I would. Anytime that you have a video, so if I was doing a video on email marketing, I would talk about email marketing. I'd be like, hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to talk, or I'm going to share with you 5 things that you can message your list and have them get value, but also potentially buy from you. So that's what I'm going to cover in this video. In the meantime, if you want to, I'll drop it in the comments. The same thing that I'm covering here today in more detail is here in my playbook. If you want to go grab it, head on over to brandcreatorsbook.com and you can grab a copy of that, right? So I did the video, I hooked it in the beginning, I mentioned a little call to action, and then I get right to the content, right? That's what I would do on YouTube if I was. YouTube's going to be slower. If you're doing organic, if you want to drive paid ads there, it'll go faster. But I would definitely consider doing Facebook ads. Even if you wanted to build up a list to then send people to YouTube. Because here's the thing with YouTube. It's a whole nother animal, by the way. I've been wrestling with YouTube for years. If you have a video that goes out and you have an email list and you push people to that and drive people to that, it's going to signal YouTube that a lot of people are viewing it in the very first 24 hours. That helps you get exposure. So that's another reason why you might want to build that email list and then just drive them to YouTube. Karen, how can I get a t-shirt? Thanks for all the help on the landing page. I think we got it right. We are now testing. Yes. And Karen, this week is going to be great for you as well because Chris is going to be setting up the campaigns from scratch. That's coming. So make sure that you don't go too far yet with your ads. Give it until like Monday, Tuesday. Chris is going to have those, that training ready to go. And the shirt, well, the shirt, it will be available, but I got to figure out who I'm going to have make them because this one here took about 2 months to get to me. So, but I wanted to see it before I actually made it available. And I might even give these away on the Take Action Crew morning show just to have some fun, but I need to make sure I can get them. But thank you. D, there's so much to do. Should I do first blog, Pinterest, Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube to build credibility and then do Facebook ads? Or is it just okay to start the ads? D, you can start the ads slow, but that lead magnet that you have can also start to establish credibility and authority because it's going to be you. I'm thinking it's you is you writing the piece of content that they're going to get, or maybe it's a video. The other thing I shared, even on the coffee talks was like, you can use a video as your lead magnet. Let's say that you're teaching someone how to play guitar. Here's 3 chords that you can learn in the next 15 minutes and start playing guitar fast, right? That would be me coming on camera and showing you those 3 chords. That's it. There's your lead magnet. And then I might have a PDF that I might make also. So you can totally do that with just a video. And then that will also connect you with the person on the other end, right? I would say The one thing that I think everyone should be doing is posting long form type content. I mean, long form, like 1,500 to 2,000 words or more on a blog. That is the long-term strategy, because that will start to pay you dividends later. Okay. And as far as Facebook goes, a Facebook fan page is really there so you can run ads. I don't look at a Facebook fan page as a way for me to really reach a lot of people, because Facebook's eliminated that. They don't give you all of your reach, right? So I think with what we're doing right now, and what I talk about on this, on this Coffee Talk show, is really simplifying, right? It's like we need the home base, and then traffic, and then monetization, right? So traffic is going to be in a variety of different forms, but one way, if you have the home base, is to start developing content. As you're developing the content, we can create a lead magnet, and the lead magnet can come from the content, by the way, right? If you want to think it through and go, I'm going to create a blog post that's going to be 10 ways to do X, that's going to turn into a lead magnet. And so D, I would encourage you, if you haven't already, make sure you're going through the email marketing accelerator inside of the Academy. And you guys that are listening or whatever, I'm sorry, but I just wanted to kind of, let D know where to go, because she is in the Academy. She's a new member. Okay. So, Charles says, take another sip of coffee. I'll do that, man. Thank you. This is why I love my crew. They keep me on my toes. Okay. Where did you do your research to come up with your exact lead magnet? Did you know your eventual offer? No. Even with the one that we're doing inside of the Academy, as far as the lead magnet, we don't know the 100% that we don't know what the offer will be yet, right? We don't care at this point. We're just trying to build the email list and trying to see if this thing resonates. If it does, we can bolt on things on the back end. But I would say do not overcomplicate that. You got to test things. The biggest thing is with any of this, and this goes for everyone, okay? If you're thinking about doing this, and then a week later, you're thinking about doing this, and then a week later, you're thinking about doing this, you got to do it, right? And if you guys are watching this, you see what my shirt says, right? Action equals results, right? If you're listening, you just heard it. Action equals results. And just to paint the picture for anyone that is listening and not watching, I have a giant action. The action word is on my shirt. Results is even bigger. And then underneath it, there's a green equal sign. Action equals results. Bottom line, right? If you don't put something into action, we can't get a result. We can't test things. We can't make any other adjustments. All right. So that's why I'm a huge fan on taking action, right? You got to take action if you want a result. Okay. Let's see. Okay. You mentioned testing 3 different Facebook ads. Can you give an example of what the variations in the ads are? Really, it comes down to conversion types. Okay. So what I mean by that is one ad is you're telling Facebook, I want to go after a conversion. That conversion could be, I want an email subscriber, right? The other one is I'm going to optimize for clicks. The ad itself, same ad, same creative, same ad copy, right? All we're doing is we're adjusting. Is it what's the conversion on the ad? Is it a lead? Is it a purchase, right? We have some ads that are running in other brands that are directly like going to an offer, right? There's maybe one for the playbook, right? It's like ad to offer, right? And the goal of that is to convert to a buyer. So now we have different ads with different, different outcomes, and you can set that up in Facebook. So we don't want to go crazy with 100 different ads, testing all of these different things. A lot of times it's just taking the same ad and then running it to a different conversion. But again, Chris Schaefer would be a better one to kind of talk about that with. How are your posts different for your Facebook page and group? Well, a lot of times on the Facebook fan page or groups, it's just taking the blog post and just giving a little snippet about it and saying, read the full post here. And then we're just linking over to it. That's it. Faith. What's up, Faith? You need a Facebook fan page for your home base to run Facebook ads, correct? Yes, you do. If you have a Facebook group, you need a Facebook fan page anyway, right? So Facebook fan page is really the thing that sets you up to be able to have a group and also to run ads. I would say The Facebook fan page will ultimately start to build its likes and people following it just by running ads too. We did that again, just from running ads through that one case study that we did with building the list from 0 to 9,000 plus. We built our followers up to about 2,000, maybe 2,100, something like that for our fan page. We didn't try, by the way. We didn't say, go like our page. We didn't do a like campaign. I'm not a fan of that. And it worked. Hey, Scott, I can make a shirt for you and have them for you in 2 weeks. Message me if you're interested. Cool. Let's talk. All right, Debbie. We will definitely talk. Okay. Mark, J Mark, have you A/B tested giveaways versus guide? If so, any results you can share? Did guides convert better to customer? Well, I'll tell you this, a giveaway will definitely give you a bigger list, but then we have to weed it out, right? So we started that list with 9,000. About 30 days later, we probably cleaned it to where we were down to like 7,200, right? But the thing is those email leads, they only cost about 18 cents, right? If you do it to a guide, it might cost you 80 to 90 cents. So it's really the same difference. We're just taking, a lot more people, but then we're shrinking it down after we start to sift through, right? So both work, but the guide itself will probably be a little bit more responsive, I'm guessing. Now we have someone inside of our academy, Octavio. He was on the podcast too, by the way. You should listen to that episode. But he actually did a giveaway, built his list up to, I'm going to guess here, at least 3,000 to 4,000 people. And his list is not that responsive. And we think it was targeting, right? Right now, he's building a list using the guide, and he's got much greater response from that ad. Okay. As far as like people signing up, it's actually pretty inexpensive too. And it's in a competitive space. So it's another thing that's kind of cool with the academy is we're able to see other people's niches and how they react. There's not a one size fits all. I will tell you that. You're going to have to test it. But I think try both, and then test it. Okay. Faith asks again, is there a downside to using a giveaway for your lead magnet because you may draw people that just want free stuff, even though it's targeted versus an info-based magnet? Yeah. Like I just said, you probably will, but it just depends. I would do both. In the very beginning, doing a giveaway, it's super simple, right? And we can get leads generally for like 18 to 20 cents. So yeah, I mean, we've had pretty good luck with it. The brand that I talk a lot about, that's like the new brand, but it's like 3 years old now. We're getting ready to sell it. We started that email list, which is now about 35,000. We started it with a giveaway to launch that brand. And it worked really well. We actually launched physical products off of that giveaway, and it worked really, really well. So yeah, I think you just have to test it. Shirts. Yes, Debbie. Shirts. Karen, we are now working on making the downloads for the lead magnet. It needs to look better than it does. Okay. Yeah. And that's the next thing. But the cool thing is, Karen, is if people are opting in, okay, signing up to get your download, it's not so important that it's pretty on the back end, right? It's a nice thing to have, and we want the user to have a great experience. But the first thing you did was the right thing to do. We want to get the landing page looking good. We want the lead magnet cover to look good. And we want, the whole page to look good, right? The second part, when they get it, if they get it, it's after they opted in, right? Yes, we want them to have a good experience, but that's not as important as the first part, which you've already done. But yes, make that thing look pretty too. And I did go over some exercises inside of the email marketing accelerator program where you can actually create infographics. You can create, just nice looking checklists and stuff. And I think for your market, it would probably serve you well to do that. Oh, random question. Salama, what did you do for your birthday? It's really funny. Let me share this quick. My wife and my son and my daughter are visiting my other daughter who just gave birth to my granddaughter. Okay. And so they're hanging out there in Virginia. I'm here by myself. Right. And so yesterday on my birthday, most of the day, I did some work. I was building out our email marketing accelerator program. I was doing some podcast episodes and some interviews and doing all that stuff. And that's what I did. I actually had a coaching call at 2:00 with actually Mike Smiley. If he's not here right now, he usually watches the replay. Mike, that was a great session. But then I went and played some disc golf all by myself. I played it twice. I took a dip in the pool. Actually, I had a beer by the pool and I just relaxed. And then I watched the Yankee game, and then the Yankee game went into a rain delay. And then I turned on the documentary with Jim Carrey that was from the movie Man on the Moon. I think that's what it was. Really interesting. And then I went back and finished up watching the game, stayed up later than I should have. And then I had a piece of carrot cake, which I ate great the whole day. And then I said, I'm going to get myself a piece of carrot cake. And I did, because that's one of my favorite cakes. And I had a candle in it. And then I turned the video on and with my family, and they sang happy birthday. So that's what I did on my birthday. Pretty exciting, right? I live an exciting life. Okay, another question here. How do you not get stuck in the thought and analysis mode and waste time instead of serving? You just got to do it. You just got to do it. You have to, you know how? You got to say to yourself, I'm giving myself till next Friday or Wednesday. It's got to be done. If I was your employer and I said, I need that document done by next week, you'd get it done. Why not just do it for yourself? Right? So a lot of times we just give ourselves too much freedom. You know, you gotta give yourself those deadlines. Get it done. Oh, thanks, Scott. It's J Mark, actually Jesse. What's up, Jesse? Thank you. Okay, this is a good question. Faith, how do you clean the list after a giveaway? Well, here's one little tip here, guys. Here's a little ninja trick. All right. This is why I like to have my own content, or even if you don't, other people's content. But in our case, it's having content. We start immediately sending email broadcast messages to the list. Okay. So a lot of people think, okay, I'm going to build the list. As I'm building the list, I'm not going to message them right away. I'm not going to bother them. I don't want to bother them. I don't want to bother them. No, I want to bother them. Not in a bad way, in a good way, with good, useful information. I'm going to email them. Okay. I'm going to email them maybe every other day. Maybe it's at least once a week, right? So what we do is we email. Okay. And as we email, we get unsubscribes. We email, we get unsubscribes. And that's okay. Right. Then at the very end of that giveaway, I want to follow up continually like I've been doing, right? At least once a week, right? Sometimes twice a week. This is going to get people to self opt out. Okay. And then one really easy way is to just send an email. Subject line could be something like, should I unsubscribe you? Right. And then from there, you're going to say in there, hey, it's Scott. I just wanted to touch base. I want to send you some free bass fishing information. And actually, there's a blog post I just did. Here's the link to it. But if you don't want to receive any of this free information to help you catch more bass, all you need to do is hit that little unsubscribe button at the bottom of this email, and you'll be taken off of this bass fishing tips, group or whatever, right? That's it. Like, you literally ask them to unsubscribe. That's one way of doing it. The other way is to just send a question, an open-ended question. It's kind of like, are you still interested in catching more bass? Question mark. And then in it and go, hey, it's Scott. I just wanted to touch base. Is there any content that I could create for you that would help you with what you're struggling in to catch more bass? Let me know. Hit reply on this email, and I'd love to know. Thanks, Scott. That's it. That's the email. What this does is it gets people to want to communicate back and forth. It also calls out in the subject line exactly what I want to know, right? And then they're going to be like, I don't want anything to do with this. And then they're going to unsubscribe, or they're going to say, yeah, I do. Or they're going to open the email and go, cool. They're not going to unsubscribe. So that's how you do it. The big thing is you got to email the list. I can't tell you how many people say, I built the giveaway. I let them know that, oh, there's 7 days left before it ends. There's 3 days left before it ends. And then all of a sudden they get all done with the giveaway and they're like, I don't want to email them. I don't want to get them mad at me. Right? Well, if you're sending them valuable information, they shouldn't be mad at you. And if they are, they're going to get off your list by unsubscribing. Or they might say, hey, can you take me off your list? You say, sure. And then you hit unsubscribe for them, literally, right? You got to email the list. Faith, Thanks, Scott. The simplification you do on these calls is so valuable. It is so much appreciated. Well, that's what it's all about, guys. It is literally how to simplify and get out of your own way. That's what it's all about. So that is going to wrap up this Friday Jam session. Again, if you want to join us on one of these Friday Jam sessions, all you need to do is head on over to takeactioncrew.com and we can answer all your questions over there, 10 a.m. Eastern time every Friday. All right, so you see what I did there, guys? That's the break. My editor is going to cut that. We're good to go. All right, guys, this was fun. This was fun. A lot of great questions came in. I didn't know if you guys were going to have any questions. Looks like you guys did, so that's awesome. So here's what we're going to do. A couple things. Number one, and I didn't mention this on what I was just doing there before because this is going to go away, but if you guys have been on the fence about Brand Creators Academy, you might want to think about joining us. We got a lot of great stuff going on in there. Like I said, the email marketing accelerator program right now that we're building, we're actually going to be in the Facebook ads portion Monday. Yeah, starting Monday. Chris and I are actually going to be having a call as soon as I get off here in about a half hour, and we're going to be doing a brainstorming session, how to really spy on your competition in an ethical way and get creative ideas or, like ad ideas. So if you're at all interested, I mean, that's like one portion of what we're doing is email marketing accelerator. But if you're just starting and you want the 30-day roadmap, we have a 30-day roadmap that walks you through exactly what to do your first 30 days to building your brand, right? Like everything. We also have our Pinterest traffic workshop. If you're at that point where you want to tap into the Pinterest, that's there, right? And we also are going to be doing a digital course or digital product creation, not a course, product, where we're going to be taking a digital item and turning that into something that we can sell. That's coming down the line. So again, if you're at all interested, you got nothing to lose, guys. Like literally it's less than a Starbucks cup of coffee per day. We are only open like 3 to 4 times a year. Right now I opened it up for my birthday celebration, which was yesterday, but I figured I'd give it 36 hours. So tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, depending on when you're listening to this or watching this, that will be going away. So if you're interested, brandcreators.com/join. That page will take you right now to the enrollment page. After the fact, that will go to the checklist page. So it'll get redirected at midnight. So if you have any questions on that, also, you can always just drop them in the comments here or just send me an email, scott@brandcreators.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you there. But regardless, guys, I want you guys to get out there, get out of your own way, all right? Get it going, make it happen. The only way that you're going to be able to get a result is if you take action. Like my shirt says here, action equals results. Right? We need to take action. We need to get out of our own way. What are you stuck on right now that you've been putting off or that you've been trying to just learn everything you can about this thing, but you're not pulling the trigger on doing it? Do it. Commit to it. Make the commitment in your own mind to yourself. And then from there, you're going to see results. And those results are going to help you know what the next thing is because you'll be moving, right? And as you have movement, you're driving down the road. You come to a stop sign. You got to make a decision, left or right. Make a right. You go down, you hit another stop sign, left or right, right? We got to, or you might be driving and be like, uh-oh, looks like there's an accident up there. Should I turn around? Should I try to go through it? Should I hit a side street? Right? But I can't plan that unless I get in the car and start driving, right? We got to move. We got to take action. All right, guys. So that's it. That is officially going to wrap up this little Friday jam session. Have an awesome, amazing day. I'll be back here Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And I'm not quite sure what the topic is going to be yet, but if you have any ideas, let me know. Probably will be on some email list building stuff. I kind of think it will be, but I'll let you know. All right, guys, have an awesome weekend. Take care, take action, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.